Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Today I'm gonna make a video that has been requested a lot by many people, and this is in relation to Hyper-V Manager. If you guys have seen my other videos, I showed a video on how to enable Hyper-V on Windows 8 or 8.1 Pro. Keep in mind that Hyper-V is something that you can enable only on Windows 8 Pro, the Pro version. The regular version does not have this feature. So if you don't see it, that's why. And so once you enable Hyper-V, I made a lot of other videos. I made a video on how to create a virtual machine using Hyper-V, how to enable the networking features of Hyper-V. But today, this video is about how to create a Windows Server 2008 R2 virtual machine. A lot of people requested this, so that's what I'm going to be making, and I'm going to show you guys today. So first off, this is just Hyper-V. I have Hyper-V Manager on my taskbar here. If you if you have it installed, you can just go to Start, type in Hyper-V. You'll see that it'll show up Hyper-V Manager. So once you have it open, I already have a bunch of different VMs here, but let's assume that I didn't have anything set up in regards to virtual machines. So the first thing you want to do is right-click MFS desktop, or sorry, right click your actual computer name over here. This is mine. So I right click that, then you'll go to new and then new virtual machine. Another way to do that is you can go to new over here and then go to virtual machine, and then this window will appear, the new virtual machine wizard. And once this appears, you want to click next, and it's going to ask you what do you want to name the virtual machine. So I'm going to name it Windows Server 2008 R2 Tech Void, because I'm making this video for you guys. And then I'll hit next, and then after that, here it's going to ask you, there's two different versions. I explained this in my other video as well. You can select generation 1 for the VM that you're making, and if you want more information on what's the difference between these two, check out my other video on how to make the Windows 8 virtual machine on Hyper-V. So after that, you click next, and now here you want to enter how much RAM you want the virtual machine to have. So my computer, this computer I'm running right now, it has about 16 gigs, I believe, 16 gigs. So you can select however much you want. Because I'm making a Windows Server VM, it requires a bit more. So for now, I'll just put 1024. So that's about 1 gig of RAM, just because it's a VM. If you want to change this later on, you can always do that. You can go into the settings of the virtual machine and change it. So for now, I'm just going to put this. If I need more, I can increase it. And then I'll hit next. I won't select use dynamic memory. What this will do is it'll change the amount of RAM it'll use over, depending on how much the VM actually needs. And sometimes what can end up happening is your VM starts taking up more memory than your actual real computer that you're using, and stuff starts going slow, freezing, etc. So I won't select that. I'll hit next, and here in the configure networking column, by default, if this is the first VM you're making, you won't have anything else unless you created a network adapter yourself. So right here, it will say not connected, and you can select which network adapter you want to use. Because this is a virtual machine, there's something called here the virtual switch manager, and what you do there is you make a virtual switch, kind of. It's like a virtual network adapter, and then once you create that, you can select which one you want. For now, we can select none, because I'll assume that you guys haven't created it yet, and then we'll click next. And then here it asks you where you want to actually save the VM, and I'm gonna go ahead, and there's three options where it says create a virtual hard disk. You can use an existing one. For example, if you already have a VHD file from a backup you did somewhere else, you can create a virtual machine out of it. So you can select use existing virtual hard disk, or you can say attach a virtual disk hard disk later. Normally people do this for, I believe, Pixie boots, but for us, we're gonna make a new virtual machine, brand new. It's nothing from before. It's fresh out of the box kind of installation. And then you want to select where you want to save it. So make sure you select a location that has a good amount of free space, because the virtual machine, it'll grow, it'll use up. The more you use it, the more hard drive space it'll take. And I'm gonna select where I want to save it. So virtual machines. I'll make a new folder, Windows Server 2008 R2 Void. Okay, so you select where you want to save it, then click select folder. And then the third thing you want to enter here is how big you want the hard drive to be. So for me, because this is just a test virtual machine I'm making as a demonstration, I'm just going to select, I'll say 20 gigabytes. And if you're going to be using this virtual machine, you can make this a bigger size depending on what you're going to do with it. Then click next. After that, here it asks you what OS you want to use. So because we're making a Windows 2008 R2 VM, we're going to select this one, install operating system from bootable CD DVD-ROM. And then here you select ISO, because that's what I have. I have ISO. If you have an actual CD, if you have a disk of Windows Server, you can select the physical disk CD DVD option, and then you can just select that one. For me, I'm going to use the ISO. You click browse. The reason this is grayed out right now is because my DVD drive it's unplugged at the moment, so that's why this is not showing up, just in case you're wondering. So we'll select the ISO option and select browse, and now we want to browse and find the ISO on our computer. So I have it saved here. Server. Okay, so once you have your ISO, we'll click open, and then after that we'll click next. Here it's just confirmation of what our VM is. This is our name, the generation we selected, the memory. We don't have a network drive set up right now, so our network adapter, so we'll be setting that up afterwards, and then we'll click finish. Alright, so now that we have it, we've technically created it on Hyper-V, but of course nothing is running yet. We haven't set it up. So the first thing you want to do, you'll see it appears here. So because I have a lot, it's kind of tricky, but this is the one that we just made, Windows Server 2008 R2 Tech Void. And now that it's created, to run it, you can just double click on the VM, just double click on the name there, and then this window will open up. And now we'll click power, we'll click start. So imagine this is like a brand new computer we just made, and this is the first time we're booting it up. And you'll see that it's already grabbing the files from the ISO that we told it to. And the setup will just start. Right. Okay. So this is the first screen of the Windows Server 2008 installation. Now, I'll walk you guys through the setup process here as well. Although this is, now that you have your VM running, you can technically set it up any way you want. But this is just the quick install process. So I'll hit English, time and currency format. I'll change it to Canada, and then I'll hit next. And then now I can just hit install now, and it'll begin the installation process. So this entire process, it can take a while. So what I will do is, whenever it's going to do a long load or long installation, and it takes when it's going to take a while, I'll pause it and then I'll come back when it goes to the next screen. So this screen will appear. It's asking me which version of Windows Server I want to install. So I'm going to be installing the enterprise version, and there's so many, because this ISO that I had, it had all the different versions. I can select the one that I want. You may not have all of these versions, but could be standard. And the one you want to select is full installation. The server core option is pure command prompt. It's mainly command prompt itself. There's no GUI involved. So you want to select full installation. So I'm going to select enterprise full installation, and then I'll click next. And then you can read, of course, we're all supposed to be reading this terms of service, and I'm sure everyone does. So once you're done reading it, you'll click I accept the license terms and then hit next. And then here I'm going to select, because we're not really upgrading, this is a brand new virtual hard drive, there's nothing on it, so we're going to select custom, and then this is the 20 gigs that we told the VM to have. And then you'll select this one, and then we'll click next. And now it will begin the installation process. So this entire process, I will let it load, and when it comes close to completing, I will resume the recording again so that you guys can see it. So this is, I'm not going to be doing anything to this, I'm not changing anything, it's just going to be installing. And to save you guys the time of watching this go through, I'll pause it and come back. Hey guys, so the recording, the installation, it just completed and then it restarted, and this is the next screen that came up after that. I'm sorry I didn't get it right before it completed. I missed that portion. So it's just booting up after the installation now. And you'll see that there's a setup is starting services. And if you have any questions in regards to just in general virtual machines and what are the different options available, oh, you'll see there it's still finishing off the installation. So different options, in much of my previous virtual machine videos that I made, it was all about VMware. I'm not sure if I ever touched up on VirtualBox or Virtual PC, Microsoft Virtual PC. That Hyper-V is kind of like, now that they enabled, Hyper-V used to be only on Windows servers, but now they, with Windows 8, Windows 8.1 Pro, they introduced it to the regular consumers pretty much. So this is something that it's just an amazing feature that anyone can enable as long as you have the Pro edition of Windows 8, and it can come in use for a million different things. People can you can test different software, you can test different operating systems, and you can just you can make a safe environment on your virtual machine rather than have it on a piece. Rather than make an entirely separate computer, you can just make a virtual machine. So it's still completing the installation. I'm hoping that it will finish soon, but for now I will just pause it and then I'll come back once it's done loading. Guys, so this is the next screen that came up after as part of the installation. Setup will continue after restarting your computer, and now it should go ahead and restart soon. So we'll just let that go, and you'll see that it's still it's still assuming that it's trying to boot with the ISO, but we don't press anything, it'll automatically just continue. And it should be loading soon. And then just as a reminder, as part of this, I have quite a few different Hyper-V videos and tutorials on my channel, so if you haven't watched them, you can definitely go and check them out. How to enable Hyper-V, how to create a network adapter for Hyper-V, how to create a virtual machine. The one I did previously was kind of a quick and dirty tutorial of how to install Windows 8, but here I'm doing a full out step-by-step everything included tutorial, so that if anyone has any questions, hopefully I'll answer them within this tutorial. I know the video is going to get kind of long, but I want this to help everyone who's watching. So you'll see that now it came to this screen. The user's password must be changed before logging on first time. We'll hit OK. So in general, you know that now this is our virtual machine that we created. It's working, so we know that it's working. Let me type in a password. Let's see. Okay, let's change the password. And it says your password has been changed. We'll hit OK. It's just we're just about at the final steps here before the VM is done installing. This, of course, this is for Windows Server 2008. You might be installing Windows 8, Windows 7, Windows XP, which Linux, any Linux OS. So this is just a demo to show you how to set up the virtual machine itself. So you'll see now that the virtual machine is working. It booted up. Everything you see everything's set up correctly. One thing by default here is that the virtual machine window itself here, it's fixed to the resolution that you tell it to be. So right now, if I try to resize this window, I can make it smaller, but I can't make it bigger. And if you want to correct the resolution, you'll have to manually go and increase it here in the properties of the screen resolution. This is just something that's inherent with Hyper-V itself, and it's something I believe it can be fixed there, or you can make it dynamic, but that's a video for another day. For now that we have our VM set up, everything's ready to go. One thing that we are still missing, and we did select this before, is we didn't set up a network adapter. And you'll see that here it says not connected, no connections are available. If I try to go and look at the adapters, there's no adapter set up right now. So what we have to do is I'm gonna go ahead. This is the virtual machine. It's like a real computer, so if you want to shut it down, preferably you want to shut it down like a normal computer. You'll go to start, and then we'll go to the little arrow here and click shutdown. If it's an emergency or your virtual machine freezes or something, you can always go here and click turn off, and it will turn off the power. It will turn off the virtual machine. This shutdown button right here, this is the same as going to start here and then clicking shutdown, or I click log off accidentally. But if I click this right now, it'll say shutting down. It's asking, do you want to shut it down? We'll click shutdown, and then this is like a regular shutdown. It's the safe way to do it, pretty much. If you want to force a shutdown, you want to go to this option where it says turn off, and then it will force it. So now our virtual machine is off again. And then the final step right now, I'm just going to show you guys how to set up the network for this virtual machine. The network meaning like for it to have internet connection. So this is a really basic setup. What I'm going to do is you want to go to the virtual switch manager. Once you're here, I already have these ones created. Assume this is not there, and we're starting from scratch kind of. So you want to select new virtual network switch, and then it's going to ask you whether you want external, internal, private. I made an entire video on this already, but I will show you guys here because this is kind of like a complete tutorial. You want to select the external. So what external means is this is going to be going to this is to go out to the internet, and this is the one that you want for you to be able to access the internet. Internal is it's like a, imagine you have a switch, you connected your computer to that switch, so anything else connected to that switch your computer can communicate with. um, so basically when you select internal, it's just your computer and your virtual machine. It won't have internet access, it's not external. um, and then private, if you select private, it's basically just your virtual machine. Your virtual machine is on its own. It can't even communicate with your host computer, like your actual live computer. It can't communicate. So for now we want internet. We're just going to select external, and then you click the create virtual switch button, and then it's going to ask you which network adapter you want to select. This is my actual physical computer connection, so it's going to ask me which one I want to select. Most of the time, if you're using this on a regular PC, you'll only have one. If you're setting this up on a server, you may have different network adapters to choose from, and you want to select the one for whichever, depending on whichever one has internet access. So I'm going to select this one, and it says here allow management operating systems to share this network adapter. That's uh, that's exactly what we want. We want this virtual machine. What that means is your virtual machine and your computer itself will be sharing this internet connection. If you deselect this, your virtual machine will have internet access. Your actual computer itself won't. It will be using the network adapter. Your actual computer won't have internet access. So we'll leave this. They're going to share this network adapter, and then after that we'll just click apply. It's gonna say that it needs to reconfigure the network adapter so that this will start working. Click yes, and we'll go through the setup process. I'll apply the changes. This adapter failed while adding virtual Ethernet switch connection. So the reason this is happening for me right now is actually because I already have an external connection that I made. I just called it internet. That's my connection. So internet, and I selected external, I selected my network, and I hit OK. So the reason it's giving me an error is when I'm trying to I'm trying to make a new switch using the same connection, and it can't share that. So here, assume this is the creation that we made. So after that, after you hit apply, then you click OK. And once you've made your switch, you want to go to your virtual machine and specify which network adapter you want to use. So we'll go to our virtual machine, right click it, go to settings, and then from here we need to add hardware. You'll see that you'll see that there's the network adapter option right here. So what you want to do is you want to right click your virtual machine, go to settings, and then you'll see there's the network adapter here, and it says not connected. There's nothing here, so click that, and then here we're going to specify which switch we want to use. We just made one called internet, and we'll select internet. You can leave all this as it is. You can specify bandwidth and VLAN IDs and stuff like that, but that's more complex. You don't need to do that for your virtual machine to work right now. This is a basic setup. We'll select internet. Assume you don't have these created, because I created these before. We created the one called internet right now, and then we'll click apply, click OK, and now let's boot up our virtual machine one more time. I double click that, and then click start. And we don't have to press anything right now. We're not going to boot from CD. We'll just let it boot. If you find that the virtual machine does tend to be slow or laggy, you can always increase the amount of RAM for your virtual machine itself. Again, it's the same way I did it before. I right clicked, went to settings, and then you can make the changes that you need. Right now, because the virtual machine is running right now, it says running, we started it up, we can't make too much, we can't really make any setting changes because we have to turn it off first, and then you can make the changes. So here it's booted up, it says Control Alt Delete. One thing to keep in mind, you can't press Control Alt Delete on your keyboard because it doesn't really get applied. There's a button right here that says Control Alt Delete. When you click on this, the virtual machine will think that you pressed it on your keyboard. So click on that, and then we'll enter the password we just made, and then it'll log in. Okay, and we will just wait to see. You'll see that now it's on a network. Before it said it was not on a network. Now it's on a network, and it has internet access. It says right there. So to test this out, let's go ahead and open Internet Explorer, and we will check a website to see if it may work. Ask me later. We'll go to google.com. Because this is the first time we're running everything, it's like prompting me with all these settings, and because this is just a Windows server, there's a lot of security on it, so we're gonna say we'll trust Google, close, and then you'll see that Google actually loaded up, everything's working. So that's pretty much it. Now we have our virtual machine set up, everything is running. We have internet access. So I hope this video helped you guys out. I hope it was very informative, and I'm sorry that the video is long, but I want it to be as thorough as possible. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'd be happy to try and answer them for you. And definitely make sure to like this video, share this video, and please subscribe if you have not already subscribed, and check out all my other videos on my video channel. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this video helped you guys out. Take care.